up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're gonna finish up the Crew Motorfest on the TV PC here. This thing's still a pretty damn high-end PC. I mean, you could make it a little bit better if you went to a 5090, but I don't think too many people with a 4090 should be caring about going to the 5090, to be honest. It's pretty cool. I like my Astro 5090, but I can't in good conscience tell anybody, yes, it's a responsible decision to spend $3 grand just on a GPU. I mean, for me, it's literally a drop in the bucket. Before their GPU even arrived, it was already paid off. So, still, that tells NVIDIA it's okay to just, hey, bend on over and just take it, you know? So, no doubt about that. Either way, though, why don't we go ahead and see how it runs here. Now, sometimes games hate this Intel CPU, but then there's other games that tend to stutter like crazy on AMD CPUs. So, we'll see what this one's willing to do. When I tested out Elden Ring last time, it was not a very pleasant experience. So, we'll have to see what this game does. Either way, it's game time.
So, we're gonna do just like we did on the main PC and just max it out at 4K. Since it's gotta do just 60, it should be able to handle that no problem. If I remember correctly, this computer did like probably second best, if not the best, in smoothness. I mean, it still had a stutter here and there, but it's between it, the main PC, and the small form factor PC. Actually, now the secondary PC did pretty good too. The laptops and the little weaker stuff didn't really do the greatest. Anyway, though, game time.
We're keeping pace. The next event is just a few minutes away. A frantic race that goes from the coast to the countryside with an unmistakable Californian vibe. Your next car is one of the most recent entries when it comes to muscle cars. The 2020 Mustang Shelby GT500. Your opponents do not stand a chance. Driver, you've ascended a step closer to being a Motorfest legend. A new reward is waiting for you within the activity menu.
off-the-grid competition and a mean muscle car to kick everyone's butt. Come on, dude, bring the thunder. My boys in the garage are gonna have a lot of work. Man, I love that song! Hey, where's my guitar? Can't find it, damn it. Bottom line is, with my cars and my songs, you're winning this thing, period. ever driven from San Diego to Palm Springs. It's a beautiful scenic route. I'm getting kind of the same vibe from this ride. Kick-ass views and nice stretches of asphalt to let your mount run wild. The best things America can offer. So the Mustang Shelby GT500 is a bit on the modern side. Let me tell you, these cars have come a long way since their first appearance. Used to call them hot rods back in the 50s when greasers just started putting large displacement engines, called big blocks, in cheaper cars. The tech's evolved a great deal since then, but one thing is for sure, the same thrill that drove people to push boundaries back in the day is what's still driving us now. Straight across the roundabout. Don't bother slowing down. One final turn, enter the military base, and that's it. The boys are back in town. This was a solid set. You keep playing this good, and I might just become your roadie.
Well, now it's time for some camera recording gameplay.
You got the toughest cars, so let's take them to the toughest spots. Face to face with the island's guardian. I'm talking about the volcano, of course. Remember when I told you Jim would drive these cars on the moon if he could? Well, this is as close as it gets. The Mustang GT specially tuned for off-roading is waiting for you. This car is your best chance to make it through that David versus Goliath kind of trial.
Figure might as well do that real quick.
See it in the distance. It's waiting for you.
another one of my rally raid prepped Mustang GTs. Just the right tool for the job. Check this out. Man, you're gonna have fun. Check out the mountain peak. Hang on, it's gonna get bumpy. Straight ahead, shoot for the stars. Hey, look at the stands on your left. Looks like you got some spectators. Let's give them their money's worth. Get ready to fly. That's right. That's one lap. Now taunt that giant one more time. horizon. Full speed on the descent, but save some of your nitro for the jump. Now, thrusters on full. And we have liftoff.
Well, I was gonna do that anyway, even if you didn't tell me.
Time for the killing blow. Right on. Center stage, dude. Hit the lights. That's how you rock the house.
I believe it is safe to say that so far this playlist is no picnic. You may even think that we've already seen everything there is to see about muscle cars, and assume it can't get more intense than this. Well, hold on to that thought. For a ruthless showdown way above the speed limit and way beyond your expectations. Plus, it's a chance to see just how far muscle car customization can go and how cool it can look.
Alright, cool. I hope I get this car. I was scared they were gonna give me that car I was driving last time. That does look pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie, I think the hood scoop is a little much, but that's just me. I would probably axe that. That's about it. Other than that, badass. And I'm sure some people like that. But that's just me. Okay, good. They do have 15 minutes of that.
Curves are coming right off the bat. Eagle eye and try to keep your machine under control. Can you respect my car?
No.
You're off the winding part of the road. Now you can let the supercharged V8 do the talking.
And that 7-speed dual clutch transmission is just icing on the cake. Now, a lot of people hate it. I wish it was manual, but I don't know. Manuals are cool and all for the right
You
applications.
probably
But I think
figured
this
out by
car's
now
cooler
I'm a
than the
massive
7
Shelby
with the
GT500
7-speed
fan.
dual
But you're
clutch.
currently driving my meanest one, my
And then you've got
special Jimbo
the,
Full Power Edition.
GT350, which has got the manual, only manual, so that's the one you get if you just want to have some fun.
That car is one of the highlights of my collection.
To shake a stick at.
Calls to me in my sleep, it does. And it doesn't take no for an answer. The harbor real soon. Quickly closing in on the finish line. Don't you flinch now. That's it. Fire up your guns. That was quite the show. Now all that's left is the encore.
You now know muscle cars have been around since the second half of the 20th century, but somehow we've yet to get you one of the classic oldies. Well, at Jim's request, we decided to catch you on the fly and save the origin story for the grand finale. There's an absolute classic heading your way, a grail among collectors and Jim's greatest pride, the Mustang Boss 429. Prepare for the centerpiece of American muscle car history.
Show me some more.
There's one race that did not work. Oh, I think the Y button's a little messed
This
up
is
on
our
this
final show. Let's get loud. Get driving my #1 car, the star of my collection, the 1969 Mustang Boss 429. Name speaks for itself. One of the oldest muscle cars. Still one of the greatest, too, honestly. Second guessing. Keep it real. The Boss is an icon. It shaped the golden age of muscle cars from the 60s to the early 70s. This was one of the top dogs. The age when these cars stopped being called hot rods or drag racing cars and became muscle cars. That's right. Even though the hot rodding mindset had been around since the early 50s, it wasn't until the 60s that the term muscle car popped up, embodying an entire generation's rebellious state of mind. At that time, if you were into muscle cars or just into cars in general, the place to be was Detroit. Man. Ever heard of Woodward Avenue? A renowned street for car duels back in the day. Third lap. Let's end this with a proper charge. Show them who's the boss. Solo, give the audience what they deserve. Spirit in you. Actually, I know 2 words. You rock. Catch you later.
Hell yeah.
Make sure to get your vehicle reward, driver. The muscle car
I guess let's go
spirit
pick
can be
that up,
described
and
in
I
many
think we'll
ways,
wrap this video
but
on
nothing
up.
speaks to it better than a head-on encounter with the Chrome itself. I hope you've enjoyed this wild experience to its fullest. As much as Jim would have liked to stick around, his expertise and passion are already requested elsewhere. But he left a special note for you. It says, "Never thought riding passenger could be this much fun. Keep on rocking. P.S. Hope you'll dig the souvenir." Is ready to try. Let's go try it. Playlist cleared and ready for takeoff, driver. Lots of fun making this next playlist. One clue, it centers on one of the most famous car models of all time. I'm terrible at keeping secrets. It's a Porsche. Okay, you probably guessed that it's the 911. Let's find out what makes this car iconic. Head to the container in Pearl Harbor and let's get behind the wheel of a legend.
Instead of doing that, I think it's probably time to wrap this video on up. Well, alright guys, as a wrap for the Crew Motorfest on the TV PC, and that's a wrap for the game altogether. We've played it on everything we can. The only thing we couldn't get any footage on is the Steam Deck, unless somebody has some idea of how to get it to work. I could not get it to work with any of the simple tricks. Well, and then there was obviously, hey, go install Windows, and I am not doing that. That's one of my favorite parts about the Steam Deck, but also sometimes I hate how hard it is to just download stuff. Like I was thinking about doing like a benchmark thing, and I was like, oh man, just installing stuff like Geekbench and Cinebench and whatnot is a pain in the butt. Heck, if Linux or SteamOS or whatever, SteamOS is a fork of Linux, but anyway, if Linux was just like, hey, you go to website, click the thing, it installs, then I'd probably switch to it. If every single game worked and that was the case, but until that day, unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to keep using Windows. I don't really have that much problem with it, but even I admit it's a freaking resource-hungry hog. I mean, there was a recent video out where, I think it was a Legion, some Legion S or something like that, Windows versus SteamOS, and SteamOS was getting like 8 to 10% more frame just from having a different OS. Everything else in there, I believe, was exactly the same. So that's pretty crazy. But regardless, very fun game. I wished it didn't have those tiny little stutters here and there, but the more you play, the more they seem to go away. So it seems to be kind of like a slightly better, in all honesty, version of Dragon Ball Sparkling. That game stutters like crazy until you do every move in the game. And then I felt bad. I think I played it so much that it just was stutter free for me, and then I was telling people, oh yeah, it's stutter free. Then I updated my graphics drivers, went back in, I was like, oh my god, this is why people keep asking me, why does yours stutter? Why is yours so smooth? And it's like, oh, well, now I understand. So I felt bad. And that's one of those times where I'm like, hey, I was wrong. You know, it sucks to have to admit you're wrong, but hey, it's pretty easy. Some people might hate you for you know, falling or spreading false info, but hey, at least you came back and you didn't mean to do it. It's not like you maliciously were like, I'm gonna make up stuff. Haha, yes. You know, that's not me. I don't want to do none of that shit. Anyway, blabbing on and on here. This is going to be a long outro, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. I've got some editing to do after all anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.